ever
it's
dreamed
a great
of.
start. Hey guys, how you doing?
Well, hello there. We have been gone for a few weeks, and I would like to introduce you all to the love of my life.
Hey guys,
Here,
how are you?
here is my Howard. So
We're all here.
I'm super excited to see everyone here, Emily and Lori and Melinda, and I don't have glasses on, Joan, Leah, Debbie and Heidi and Stephanie. Oh, Sherry, Eileen and Karen and Patricia. Hello, hello. Oh, this is so fun. So I literally prepared nothing to talk about tonight because I was like, well, let's just talk about the last 3 weeks and tell you what's been going on and see if you have any questions.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird framing. I think I want to angle down a little bit. Let me adjust that. It's so weird how YouTube doesn't let you see what's live until you're actually live, and you're trying to line it up and you're trying to do it with your regular video, and it's just framed up a little different and blah 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 blah. So
Hi Emily. Emily, I have no fan base. This is everything. So thank you.
this is everything. This is the one who makes everything possible.
Thank you, sweetie.
So we went glamping, and I'm going to have a video on that for you soon. I came back and of course went right to work and just been busy and haven't had time to sit down and edit it. There's still a whole bunch of footage that's on Howard's phone. I've got footage on my phone and we haven't even compiled it and gone over everything.
Yeah, we're
But
working on that.
It's really nice to have you home all the time. It's really wonderful. It's been a nice treat
She
when he's
says
not
that
underfoot.
until I'm underfoot, right? And then you need to go play the guitar. Go.
Which you did today.
I did.
And I had a lovely nap.
You did.
Thank you. And then I finished Anne.
Did you really?
I did.
Wow.
Okay, so favorite show that I have been binge watching, and I started it because I watch all my girl stuff when I'm at the gym. That's sort of like my me time. So I watch all my super girly TV shows when I'm on the treadmill at the gym. And I started watching this one show and I just went, this show is so good. I really think that I want Howard to see it. And when we were on vacation, when we were not glamping, when we were in Vegas, we couldn't get to the pool one day and we just decided, let's just watch a little TV. And he said, let me see that show that you like. And so I watched him and he was hooked. He's like, this is a fantastic show. So if you're looking for something fun to stream, it's not brand new, but Anne with an E on Netflix is just such a heartwarming show. So we've really been enjoying that. And I finished it today, but I'm going to be rewatching it.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll be rewatching because
Have some catching up to do.
I finished all 3 seasons and we're just on season 2. We're just starting season 2.
We're almost at the end of season 2.
No, we're not.
I think we are.
No.
I thought, okay.
No.
See, now we're getting to a fight. You know,
Look, we're fighting right in front of you.
Yeah.
We don't fight very often.
What's going on with you, sweetheart? Tell me about the jobs. What's happening?
Well,
How's work?
work has been up and down. Work has been a little all over the place. I took some major financial hits in the last week. It's been challenging. In the last week, I've had some jobs. I've lost some jobs, and it's a variety of things. But let's just say that in the last week, I've lost a great deal of money. And I just told you about that for the first time last night, how much. And it's challenging when you are expecting to earn and then you don't get to. And it's very frustrating. So that's kind of where I'm at work-wise. I've been doing a bunch of auditions, but sometimes when you get kicked a little bit, actually I have that intentionally. Oh, somebody said they can't hear us?
Yeah, or at least they're I guess I need to speak up.
Oh.
Who knew?
Who knew?
All right, I will do my best. Thank you.
Yes. Howard is notoriously quiet. He has a very soft-spoken, quiet voice. And I have discovered recently I was on this job. It was a great job, fun job, had a great time doing it. Can't tell you anything about it yet, except what I'm about to tell you. But I noticed that because I am theatrically trained, so I have a big voice. I support my voice. It's like I sit up very straight and I kind of have a big voice. And I noticed that when I'm shooting scenes with other women are reading their scenes and they're just saying their dialogue like this. And it's just it's so quiet. And I'm like, wait.
I don't sound
No,
like that.
you don't do that. Women, when I'm shooting.
I know.
And every woman on the set, and I'm like, am I being too big? Am I too theatrical? Because everyone else they're just doing their lines like this. And I can barely hear them. I'm like listening for my cues. I'm like, I can't hear my cues. So I think I could be bowling you over.
Excellent. Make a strike.
Okay, there's questions. I can see that there are questions.
Please.
You talk for a minute. I gotta find glasses.
What do you think of glamping?
I thought glamping was super fun.
Would you do it again?
I would go glamping again. I might pick a different area. Not that the Grand Canyon wasn't fabulous, but we had extremes in weather. The day we got there, it was close to 100 degrees. It was hot and dry. And thank God they have these wonderful misters in the room. When you see the video, you'll see all of it. And it was terrific and, but really, really warm. And I think that would have been tough to take for multiple days. Unfortunately, we didn't have to worry about that because the temperature dropped 50 degrees.
Yeah.
And we went and rained like nonstop, buckets and thunder and lightning and just, it was coming down hard. And we were toasty and dry in our tent. We had a heater. We had a fireplace. I lit the fire in the fireplace and it gave us wonderful heat. It was really, really nice. We were very cozy. But there's a shower. And the shower is a pull down. So when you pull on the handle, you get the water, and the water is supposed to eventually get warm, but it doesn't really get that warm, which would be delightful on a 100-degree day. On a 50-degree day, not so much. Because then you're pulling down the water, you get wet, and then you let go, and now you're just standing there cold and wet while you suds up. And then you go for a nice cool rinse, and then, it's just would have felt lovely on a 100-degree day. But on a 50-degree day, it was challenging. And shaving was a little rough for you.
Yeah. It was cold water.
Cold water doesn't give a good close shave.
No, it gives it a good close shave. It just hurts.
Well, we made do.
Oh, that didn't go well. Anyway, okay, you're going to read the
Okay,
question.
yeah, I'm going to read the questions. You're going to just look at this
by the
pretty
way,
face for a minute.
I'm reading my question, so when my head's tucked down, it's because I'm looking at you guys. So thank you, by the way. Everyone's very kind to me. Thank you.
Oh, Grace, I didn't cry in the corner, but I really felt like it. Mom called to check on me, and you were, it was just, I was not in a happy place for a couple days.
Yeah.
So, such is life. We have ups, we have downs, and, that's life, right?
It is.
My hair is oddly blonde in the front. The show that I am doing with Brandon Rogers, which, by the way, when I did the whole makeover, when I did the red hair and the green dress, that show is now live. It is called Normal British Series. And when we are done with this, I will put a link to it up in that corner? One of the corners.
Monique I think you did your wig.
Yeah.
That day before you went to go shoot, so you guys get a chance to see her on, in the performance. It's really good. She's amazing.
As much as I had tried to, it's like I spray in this color right on my hair, right in the front, and it grabbed, and so now I've got this sort of blonde streak in the front, and I'm still going to be shooting it for a couple more days. Mm-hmm. So I'm just kind of waiting
I'm just not. Am I underfoot?
No, you're not. You're cute.
Oh, okay.
I get all distracted.
All right, go. Your questions.
So I've got this weird blonde streak in the front, and I know I'm going to have to do something chemically with a toner to get rid of it, but it's really annoying because every time I look in the mirror right now, I'm like, I'm a blonde! When did I become a blonde? I didn't, well, I've always been a blonde, but, you know, this way. So.
Okay, question.
Okay, yes, questions. I did expect Arizona to be warm. Yes, Debbie, I did expect Arizona to be warm. Yeah, that wasn't a surprise. It was the extreme drop in temperature. It's sort of, okay, I could have held at warm. I could have adapted to warm and enjoyed those showers, but I never once got to enjoy a shower on the warm day because the temperatures dropped almost immediately. So it was very cold. I mean, we brought clothes for either way, and we did great.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, the time that we giggled, we sat in bed and giggled when it was raining, because, you know, it just doesn't rain here in California much as we need it. But when it rained, we were just so happy, and we cozied up, and I had a book, and I think you were reading something, and I was reading, and we were just, every once in a while we would look up and we would look at each other and we would just giggle and say we were just snug as two bugs in a rug.
In a tent.
In a tent.
A big tent.
It was a big tent. A fancy tent. A really fancy,
yeah.
nice tent.
Yeah.
We're just not really tent people.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a nice experience. The food was great. The people were lovely.
The food was excellent. And we had so much fun with s'mores.
You're not going to show them that video.
I'm not going to show them that
Okay.
video. I'm going to show them parts of that video, but I'm not going to show them all of that video.
Yeah, we had a big, when you get near the area where they serve food, you can go outside and they have quite a few fire pits, rings, and they provide you with all the accoutrements to make a s'more. And we did. Monique did. And she let that marshmallow burn a little too much. So anyway, I'm sure Monique will show that to you.
Oh, gosh, I love all these resorts. I'm just like, I know, I love Howard's dimples too. Aren't they adorable?
No, they're not. Thank you.
Everything about them is adorable.
Thank you.
Would I ever work on a soap opera? I would love to work on a soap opera. That is an awesome question. Yes, Glennis, I would love to work on a soap opera. Surprisingly, I have very rarely gone in to audition for soap operas, which just strikes me as insane. I mean, I can overact for all I'm worth. You'd think I'd be perfect, but they don't seem to want anything to do with me yet, because there's always time to change their minds.
As Scott, what I do, practice playing guitar. There's a ton of stuff to do around here. Tons of stuff.
Tons of
Too
stuff.
much. It was nice to get away and not have to deal with it. So yeah, it's busy. Plus, I'm still closing things out with the retirement. There's like things I have to do, documents I have to sign. You know.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you work for the government.
Hi, Amanda. Yes, we do have to come visit. Hey, Scotty. Sophia, thank you. Verge, thank you. Una. That's for you, Howard.
What's that?
Happy retirement.
Thank you.
Oh, Terry, hello. And Terry's saying hi to Amanda. I love this. Yay. He is a cutie patootie, Grace. My eyeglass frames, I bought these in a 5-pack on Amazon. And they were a 5-pack for like $30. Because I just periodically invest in cheap disposable glasses. Because then I sit on them or lose them or smudge them or break them or whatever. Or gesture too much wildly with my hands. Because I'm known to do that.
Hey, Lori, I do like the cats. They're fine. I'm allergic to cats, but I have to, we kind of keep our distance from each other. And by the way, there was a comment about this is not a wedding ring. This is my law school class ring. It used to go on this finger, but in the process of doing a water feature here, kind of twisted the finger so it kind of fits better on this finger. But it's my law school class ring. So there you go.
I'm not having an affair with a married man.
Unless it's Harold.
Yes, Harold. I am having an affair with Harold.
That's a joke.
That's a joke that we have. I'm going to adjust the camera a little bit.
No. More on you, less on me.
It's equal.
Okay. Perfect then.
You should like that.
I do. But go ahead. You're answering questions.
I'm answering questions. I would love to be on the rookie. Emily, how are you doing, Emily? Oh, Michael, hello. It's so nice to see you. Oh, he does have a kind face. And Howard puts up with my cats. He likes one of them more than the other.
Yeah. That's actually accurate.
That is very true. No.
I do not.
No, Scotty.
That's a good thing. As far as children, Scotty wanted them, but there came a point when you get old enough and you think, gosh, if I have kids at this age, by the time they graduate, I'm going to be in my 60s. Like, oh, hell no. So, no, I don't think either one of us do.
Well, no.
No.
my babies have 4 feet, and you know them,
I do.
as we just discussed.
We used to have Kiko.
Yes, we used to have Kiko, and now Kiko, we visit him on the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Thank
love
you.
him.
Okay, question.
Okay,
Thank you, by the way, Melinda. You're very kind.
so, what else is going on? Let's see.
Lori wants to know, how did we meet?
Who is taller? He is taller. Howard is taller than me. My legs are longer, though.
And more beautiful, by far.
No, you have gorgeous legs.
Well, it depends.
How did we meet? Howard and I met on a dating app. For those who don't know, we met on the app Bumble. And I liked Bumble because women make the first move. I had been on other dating apps and I felt completely overwhelmed. Like, I think I tried Match.com one time when I lived in Arizona. And I remember signing up for Match. And then I went to a convention for work. And when I came home, I had 600 messages. And it was just completely overwhelming. And I had to run. I just ran away in terror. So when I started trying to do dating again, I used Bumble and really liked it. And Howard and I met and we reached out. I reached out to him and he responded immediately. And we started talking, first texting, and then we talk on the phone. And the very first time we spoke on the phone, my mother was visiting. And I was so rude to her. I was on the phone with you for an hour.
We were always on the phone a long time.
We were always on the phone a long
hours.
time. Hours. So really, when we first started dating, it was just phone calls. All we did was talk on the phone. And then when we finally met in person, I was like, this guy better look sort of like his pictures. If he even looks sort of like his pictures, I'm 100% in. And yeah, he looked just exactly like his pictures and perfect.
Debbie from Your Dream Coach talks about the baby factory being closed at 35. I think there comes a point where was there ever a point when you decided you didn't want, or
Well, when I was married, I was undergoing a lot of fertility treatments. Mm-hmm. And I tend to overproduce eggs and follicles.
Okay.
And so they would frequently have cycles where they'd say, we cannot, I couldn't afford IVF, but I was undergoing a lot of other I don't even know, whether you're the turkey baster. I don't even know the technical terms anymore. It's been a lot of years since then. And I tried really, really hard, and I never was pregnant. I never got pregnant, so.
Was there ever an age, though, when you said, okay, I'm done?
Yeah, it was
35.
well past that. I held hope out well into my 40s. Okay. And I was in my early 40s when I would still hope. I would hope. But by that point, I was single and there was nobody. And it was just, but there was always that feeling like maybe, maybe, maybe. And then you reach a point. I think I was around even 43, 44 when I said in my heart that I had to stop thinking about that just for my own sanity. Just to stop wishing and stop dreaming and stop thinking about that because it's just not ever going to happen. And, you get to a point of acceptance and you move on.
Yeah.
And now, perhaps that was the right plan for me all along and I just didn't know. We have to assume that things work out for the best in the way they're meant to. I'm certainly glad with how things turned out in my life.
Yeah. And Marianne, it's my goal to make Monique happy, but I will be honest with you, she makes me immensely happy. We have so much fun. It's seriously, we talked about the giggling. It's kind of high schoolishness.
Yeah.
Well, maybe no one jumps in bed when they're in high school, but the playfulness is always there.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
So we have a great time.
Yeah, I mean, in high school, you'd be jumping in bed to do other things, and we're jumping in bed and giggling.
Yeah.
He's happy when he sees me in my pajamas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's home.
I come home, and I'm one of those, I gotta take the bra off, take all this off, get her. And when I get comfy, I just put on my PJs. Yeah. And he's like, oh, good, you're in pajamas.
Yeah, I mean, you spend a lot of time in the makeup chair. You spend a lot of time getting clothes together for wardrobe fittings. So to see you in pajamas, I know you can finally relax.
Yeah.
And that's nice. So it's always lovely to see you there. I wonder if she'll ever become underfoot sometime, like, honey, you need to dress up a little bit.
It's funny because we came home today and I immediately, we went out to the gym today and worked out. And I come home from the gym and I was like, I should put clothes on. I'm like, I just put my PJs back on. And I come out and I'm like, look at me, I'm styling.
and Grace, I agree. It's, I've known so many people who did not want to have children. And in many respects, it kind of is the best, deal that never happened. We have a little more freedom and flexibility financially and otherwise, so it could be a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say that, and people will say, oh, you could adopt even now. and at this age, I don't want to have a child. I'm at 55, it's too late for me to, it's like, now I want to do fun, easy things. Raising a child is not easy.
I think people are trying to say, I need to get closer. So wait a minute, how about that? I'm just kidding. I'm not sure what to do. It might be at the angle of microphone. They hear you fine, and it's just...
Well, let me try this.
Really? You think it's going to make a difference?
I don't know. Does that make a difference?
I don't know.
I don't know. Let me hold on to it.
Are you going to say testing? 1, 2, 3?
I don't know, but it's a very large thing right here.
That sounds interesting.
Hey, it's Big Mike.
It is. Anyway, should we just give it a shot and leave right over here and see how we do?
No, fine. We can
that
do
right
that. Is that fine? Can you hear us now? I'll try to be quieter. You talk. I'll sit here and do this. I'll look silly.
I wish I could do the accent. Anyway, so what else is going on?
Oh, well, see, it was better. It does make a difference.
It does make a difference. What do you think? So what else is going on, sweetheart?
Thank you, Marianne. Thank you. Yeah, it's amazing to meet my soulmate. What would be our dream vacation together? Okay, we have talked about our dream vacation, and we've already taken a trip to Bora Bora, but we do have a dream vacation planned, and it's to go back
to Bora Bora?
To Bora Bora.
Yeah, we were talking about going to Greece and then Seychelles, and then we're talking about taking about a month to a month and a half, maybe 2 in Europe, and tour in Europe. The pandemic is very challenging,
Yeah.
to say the least.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how that's going to work out. Anyway, more questions?
Yeah, Yes. Oh, that means I gotta put the glasses back on, because, thank you, Rainer. It was love at first sight for me. We told each other very early that we had feelings. And yes, we have begun the kitchen remodel. The cabinets are ordered. They are hopefully being unpacked this week.
Yeah.
At
We were told we were supposed to get the cabinets in late August, so that kind of should tell you everything. But hopefully we'll get them. Hopefully we'll get them soon. And we've got the appliances. Some of them are trickling in.
Yeah.
So we're hoping to get that, and we did pick out the counter. We picked a really beautiful granite that almost looks like a quartzite. So that'll be fun to show you guys.
Yeah.
We get ready for that.
Yeah, it's got some beautiful shading in it. It's very dramatic. We looked at a lot of slabs. We looked at a lot of pieces of stone for our countertop. And we went all over the place in colors. It's like this was blue and this was green. And then we were like, should we go back to white? Should we have it gray? Should we have it neutral? And then Howard went out and he sent me pictures at this stone yard. And I was like, ooh, that one's really pretty. And it has a lot of white and a lot of gray in it, and it has little tiny veins of ochre, and then some good solid swaths of black through it. So I think it's going to be really beautiful and really exciting in our kitchen and bring a lot of drama and brightness in there.
In Jan, you're right. I do almost all the cooking. Almost
All the cooking.
all the cooking.
All the cooking.
So I'm pretty handy in the kitchen.
He is very... Thank you, Grace. He is adorable and he is a keeper. Absolutely. And he is a manly man. Belize, we might go to Belize at some point. Costa Rica is where we had planned on really going. But I've got to get my passport situation handled. I've got to get new passport updated. So, bureaucratics. So, waiting on that.
Okay.
Which is weird for me because I have not been without a passport in 30 years. I feel trapped not having a passport. Isn't that weird?
Why?
I don't
Is it
know.
because you feel restricted?
Yeah. It's like I could, if I wanted to fly off to Greece tomorrow, I could. But now I can't.
Yeah. And that's what happened with us as far as Costa Rica. We
Yeah.
had to cancel that trip.
What did you think of the Grand Canyon?
Grand Canyon is beautiful. It felt a little two-dimensional. There was other things we could have done. The weather was a little restrictive, especially on the second day when it rained really hard. I think you'll see some of the footage of that with some of the things that we caught. But I don't know you've been there before, but you were there when your dad held you over the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, I know.
That must have been a big difference.
Yeah, he didn't hold me over the Grand Canyon, so much appreciate that. What was the question? Howard is edgy, but he does not have any tats. In fact, it's funny. Neither of us do.
No,
We're both
just us. So, what do you want to do for your birthday?
I don't know, and you have asked me that a few times, and I don't know. I would like. I don't know. I think I said that 5 times already.
Last year was a lot. Last year was fun when we went to Tiffany's. That was something that was a little bit of an adventure, but thoroughly exciting. Her ring is amazing. But we're not going to Tiffany's this year, and we're trying to figure out something different. And you're right, I keep asking you because I'm a planner.
He's a planner.
I like planning.
Planning.
So.
Parents don't plan.
Yeah.
We have informed him of that.
They do.
We do.
Say they don't.
When we were out of town, my mother came over here and she took care of the kitty cats. And she also brought her little dog Annie to visit. And that was fun for Mom, but traumatic for our little sequel. Sequel was just terrified of Annie, and so the poor thing hid in our wardrobe room. It's the second bedroom, but we have all our clothes in there. So he was in the second bedroom just the whole time, the poor little guy. I felt terrible. But Mom had a nice time, and it was really wonderful having her here taking care of them. Colby has diabetes, and he has to get injections twice a day. So every 12 hours, Colby has to get a shot. So that has been challenging for us trying to plan things, even just going out of town for work. It's like, oh, well, it would be lovely if Howard could come join me, but then he can't because somebody has to stay home to shoot the cat. So.
April, I do have a brother, but I haven't seen or spoken to him for a long time. And one smart cookie, about getting another dog. We had a good conversation about that the other day. Losing Kiko was really hard for both of us, and I just don't know if I can do that again. I don't even know if it's a good idea to have pets. I know people love them and they provide an important part for people in their lives, but Kiko I took very seriously, and I don't know if I could do that again. I really, it's tough. I wonder how you guys feel about that. I mean, losing a pet, I don't know. Anyway, so thank you for asking.
Shocked Kitten, thank you so much. Thank you. That is so sweet. Any movies coming up?
Yes. You can't say about it. Can you?
I can't.
Okay.
I can't.
They are, though. They'll be fun.
Yes.
There's a lot of fun stuff. I guess I can't say anything.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so frustrating because almost every job that I have, it's don't talk about it. You can't talk about it until it airs. So until it airs, I'm just like,
But when you see them, they'll be fun.
yeah, it'll be fun.
Your mom's gonna love it.
Mom's gonna love it.
Yeah. Is she? No, I can't say. Anyway,
I keep fussing with my hair because my hair's. It's like I just washed it. I only wash my whole head of hair like once a week, and it takes forever to get dry down at the roots. So I kind of styled it, but it's not really styled, and it's just. So I keep fussing with it. Please forgive me. I'm sorry.
And thank you, LJ. He was talking about Kiko.
Kiko. He was the best. Good doggy. Miss him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whiteson, yeah. I feel the same way. My heart, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so.
Oh, hey, April. Okay, yes, we feel the same way. We absolutely feel the same way.
Thank you, Deb.
So we had a lot of fun so after we went to the Grand Canyon, we did 2 days at the Grand Canyon, and I will have a video for you about that. So as soon as I get time this week to sit down and edit, I'll take all the footage that Howard took, I'll take the footage that I took, and I'll give you a nice little well-rounded view. I may even make a couple of videos, one that's more like us having a good time, and then one that's more just for strangers who don't really follow my channel, who might want to know about the glamping experience, just to share some things that we learned. So we might have a couple of videos coming up on that. But we didn't do any video when we were in Las Vegas, and we had a lot of fun in Las Vegas. In fact, the cover shot for tonight's video was 3 of the pictures when we were in Las Vegas. The very first night we went out to dinner, we were dressed up, we looked very nice, we had masks on, and we were waiting for the elevator, and there was a mirror right there. We were like, oh, let's take our picture. Yeah. And then I said, let's do this every single day. So we have all these pictures of us masked and dressed up, and it's just, they're not even great pictures, but they're fun because they were fun for us.
Yeah, we did. We had a great time. It's, walking into a room with Monique is always an experience. She lights up a room. On the first night, we ate at Beauty in Essex. you don't see a picture of that. The very first picture you see is we came back from dinner, dressed to go to a club and go dancing, which was okay.
It was okay.
A little too crowded.
It was weird. They said, excuse me, we were staying at the Cosmopolitan and at the Marquee because it was a Wednesday night. On Wednesday nights, they do something called Low Key at the Library, which was not really descriptive anywhere. It's like, okay, you can vibe and listen to music. And we're like, well, is that going to be dancing? Is it going to be, I don't know. So they said it was first come, first serve, and about 50 people. So we were expecting low key. It was not 50 people. It was maybe 250 people.
Yeah.
They were cramming so many people in there, and it was just bodies all pressed up against each other, which typical club scene, that's terrific, except we're in a pandemic. We never took our masks off.
Right.
Just way too many people, and you don't know what the vaccination status is on them. So it's just, we'll tend to ourselves and everyone else can tend to themselves. And we had a great time. We had fun dancing.
Yeah, we did. And the second picture in the middle is the second night at dinner. You looked amazing.
Thank you.
You pulled that out particular for Zoom it. And in the last one, we went to a steakhouse, and she was stunning. In this light blue dress, 50s, kind of ilk. And it's fun walking through the casino and having people watch you. You're just like, you're mesmerizing. And so it's amazing. It is. So, there was a question about how is the clean eating going? Did you gain weight on vacation?
I did not gain weight on vacation. I even watch what I eat on vacation. Now, we splurged. We had this lobster that was cut open and cut into chunks, and it was cooked in shiso butter. And it was just so decadent and amazing. That was a meal that we just were like, whoa. So that was our biggest splurge. But see, maybe the lobster bisque was a splurge. Mm-hmm. That was pretty high in calorie. And I had a baked potato that night.
Yeah, but you only had a portion of it.
Yeah.
And we split a baked potato. How sad is that?
We split a 6-ounce steak. No, it was a 9-ounce steak. It was a 9-ounce steak that we split. So we each only had 4.5 ounces of steak. Then we got broccoli, and we had scallops. We had some delicious scallops, because scallops are one of my favorite things. So yeah, even though we were decadent, we weren't that decadent.
Yeah, and Grace, we actually expected to gain weight. But when we came back, we didn't. Stayed pretty much the same. We did work out when we were in Vegas virtually every day.
Yeah.
So it was a very fun trip.
Yeah, we're the only people. We go to Vegas and we're like the only people in the gym. There are a couple of people in the gym, but actually more people in the gym this time than previous visits.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's true. More questions?
More questions. Okay. Like I told you, I prepared nothing tonight. Thank you, Del J. Yeah. We did hit the monsoon, Kathy, you're right. And I love Arizona monsoons. And I remember when I lived in Arizona and I would work a 12-hour day at Costco selling the blenders, and I would come home and I'd make a drink because my life was miserable and I drank way too much then. But Colby and I would sit outside and we would sit, and I would I had a lawn that cost me a small fortune, but my landlord insisted on it. And it was lovely to sit at the end of the day and put my bare feet on that cool grass and to just sit there. And Colby and he would sit I'd have 2 Adirondack chairs, and I would sit in one and he would sit in the other. And we just smell the air and feel the storm coming, and the wind would kick up, and the thunder and the lightning, and it would still be hot, and the rain would come down. And I'm glad we got to experience a little bit of that monsoon.
Yeah.
But we got big monsoon.
Yeah, we did. And Diane, please have a great time in Vegas. And I wish you great luck.
We go see the Love show. We saw Cirque du Soleil Love, and it was really, really lovely. We enjoyed the heck out of it. It was the Beatles music. So just really,
We're old, aren't we?
hey, we're not that old.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Questions.
more questions. Oh. We stayed at the Cosmopolitan. I do not have live flowers in vases. I have these, well, the cats aren't going to get these, and these are from IKEA, and they're fake. So I've had these flowers for years. Howard brings me roses periodically, or sunflowers. Right now we have some lovely yellow and red roses, and the cats don't seem to pay attention to them. Now we're very careful about not having flowers that are toxic for them, but they're really not interested in the flowers.
Me wants to know, why did you move to Arizona?
I moved to Arizona because the company that I was working with, they lost their contract with Costco. So I was out of a job. And I was selling high performance blenders, and there really are only 2 high performance blenders. So I applied to work with the other company, and they said, yes, we would love to hire you, but we don't need you in California. Well, as it turned out, the man that I was living with had broken up with me. So I was sort of in the space of a week out of a home, out of a relationship, and out of work all at the same time. So when they said, we need you in Arizona, I thought to myself, yeah, I knew what my hours were with this one company. I was able to work 10 days a week, which would provide me enough income for the rest of the month to be able to concentrate on my artistic activities. And I thought, I'll just continue with that. Arizona's not that far. It's a 6-hour drive. It's a 1-hour plane flight. I can keep this up. I can just keep living just the way I like. Well, that company in that state, they just needed us to work all the time. And my work-life balance went completely haywire. Literally, all I did was work. I would work 21 consecutive 12-hour days, and then I would get 3 days off. And then I would work 21 consecutive 12-hour days and 3 days off. And I had no friends. I had no life. I was just desperately, desperately unhappy. And I realized that as long as I was spending all of my time working, I was never going to have a life. I was never going to get out of this imbalance. And so I moved back to California, and I kept the job with the company. And then after I moved, I ended up leaving that job because I literally had a day that I was working, and I was recounting this to you recently, where I was washing dishes. And there was no grand moment. It was literally just this realization as I'm washing the dishes. And I'm like, as long as I am doing this, I will never have any of the things in my life that matter to me. And I decided to stop because it's a lot easier I just needed to take control of my life. I needed to have balance in my life. And at first it was very imbalanced in the other way. It's like, oh, my year of austerity. I have no money. I can't go anywhere because I have no money. I can't do anything. I gave up my car. I gave up everything. But that allowed me to focus on just doing things that made me happy. And from that, I eventually started earning a living. Not a great big huge living, but learning to do with less. You find out what matters. And having a spare guest room in my house that I work all the time, so I never have time for guests or friends, isn't worth my time. I would rather be poor and have more in my life, more love in my life, more friends in my life. Those things matter so much more than a job. And it's great to have a job, it's great to be employed, but too many employers believe that their job has more value than your life. And I think we're seeing a lot of that with the pandemic. A lot of people in the world realized, it might be more important to stay home with my family than to give all of my waking hours to an employer. And a lot of people have reevaluated their whole work-life balance. And we're seeing not a lot of people wanting to go back to work or wanting to stay at home and work from home. And they can make just as good a living or have a much better lifestyle in that way. Less money, but more time for the people who matter in your life.
That's sweet. That's so nice. Thank you, PC. Also, Sherry wants to know what is the best memory of the trip, and Fitness G, we're moving in that direction.
Well, let's see. I haven't seen it. Grace, Vegas, 2 to 3 days is great. Any more than that, overwhelmed. And we don't gamble. We're not gamblers. Oh, hello, Neela. Yes, monsoon. So that's why I moved. Yes, Sunday. Yay, I'm glad you're here. Yes, fitness, someday. I guess he already answered that.
He.
What?
No, you said he already answered. Yeah.
You already answered it.
I did.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. People are still working like that with no life. And it's wrong of companies to not realize that their employees need to be happy, well-balanced people. We only need enough. You don't need to work 100 hours a week. It's too much. 60, 70-hour weeks, it's too much. We need balance, and we need, so, okay.
Debbie, that's a great idea, but I'm going to leave all the beauty tips to Monique. She's an expert at them, so, I'm just the pool boy. So, anyway.
Yes, it is, Grace, I 100% agree. It is difficult to shut down work when you work from home, which is part of why we have this room. This is where I work. That is where I edit. So I will literally sit down and I shoot all my auditions in here depending on what sort of background I need, whether I'm sitting, whether I'm standing, whether they want a solid background, whether they've said we want to see part of your life. I mean, this is where I work. So I can come downstairs to work and then go upstairs and I'm home. And that is a very challenging aspect that so many people have had to figure out. And when I was in my old apartment, well, you remember, you'd walk in and it was a studio. My living room had lights and curtains and everything. And it was just like, it did not look like a place where people lived because it wasn't. I always was working. And that is a tough balance when we're working from home. So I hope that you can find a way to slice out ways and make it work for you, Grace. And everyone who's working from home. It is challenging.
And thank you, Emily. You're very kind. Monique has nothing but great words for you. So
yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
You're amazing. Thank you.
You have been a lifesaver, Emily. So, thank you. Yeah, that separation is... I know we're not allowed to talk about what is really going on this planet. Probably not. Yep. Yes. Too many companies have too much power. And I guess we need to find ways to learn to, I mean, other countries do it better. I think in the US we tend to be very money focused and not home life focused. So hopefully we can learn to be better about that, to value love and life and family and mental health and sanity a little more than always like going after the big buck. Because ultimately, at the end of it, when you look back on your days, what are you gonna think about? What are you gonna miss? You're not gonna miss work.
Yeah.
You're gonna miss love.
And Diane, you're right. That's actually, Diane suggests the best way to heal a hole in your heart as a result of the loss of a pet is to get another pet. And I would agree with you. I mean, you've done that with cats. But with Kiko, it's the kind of thing where that hole in my heart, I don't know if I ever want to fill it. It always reminds me of Kiko and how adorable he was. So, but you're right, though. Absolutely right. Good advice.
And I had lost many pets in my life from the time I was a child on, and have dealt with the loss of a pet. I had to learn about that when I was just a toddler, and all growing up, having that lesson repeated many, many, many times. And Kiko was your first pet that you lost that way.
Right.
So your first grieving experience that way, and everybody has their own timeline. I remember when I was married to Harry, we had lost a dog, and she had kind of become more my dog, and we carried around that grief for a while. And I came home one day and I just looked and I said, I think it is time for us to get another dog. And he was like, oh, I was so waiting for you to tell me that. And we went to the shelter and we adopted another dog that day. But you have to find when you're right, and only your own heart can tell you that. And it's different for every single person. When I got Colby, I was not ready for another cat. But I will say that God knew what he was doing or she. I like to say that.
You did
God,
say he,
God, I know.
It is
But
a she.
it is.
By the way, I don't believe it's
They. God knew what they were doing when they, because how can we assign a gender to a divine being? The universe gave me Colby, dropped him into a chimney, said, girl, you're going to need this cat. You're going to be going through some shit. You're going to need him. And I did need him, and he helped me through a lot of bad times. So, turned out, yeah, the universe was right.
I'm sorry about your loss, Jeff. We're at the 52-minute mark. Anything you want to do? You want to?
What subject should we talk about next week? Next week is the 27th. Yeah. I might end up being gone for another week. The first Monday in October, I am co-producing a short film, and we were hoping to be able to shoot. We're shooting away in the mountains, and we were hoping to be able to shoot Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And for our main actor, we may need to shoot Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, in which case I may need to be absent from a live video, and Howard does not want to do this by himself. So I am not going to volunteer him for that. But I will let you know for sure next week if that is going to happen. But let's see.
And Grace, I'm sorry for your loss. I truly know what that feels like. So, and hello, Brenda.
Yeah, Cinderella. Yeah, seriously. Oh, okay. Good for you, Classy H. Working from home. Yeah, you're right, Debbie. Yeah. Okay. Where can I find your commercials? Gosh, it's like, I don't know. iSpot TV always has a couple. There is a spot that I did for Focus Factor that I have not seen yet. I did a spot for Beachbody, which I know the ad is on. I don't think I am in the ad, but they may have it on something else. My CVS spot, I think, is available on YouTube. I should find the link to it. I'll drop it in the description box, I suppose, down there. I know I'm doing weird things with my hands again. Yeah, the Thrive commercial is on. I think you can find that on iSpot TV. And it's literally, I think the letter I, SPOT TV.com. And they will have commercials there. And I try to enter my name on them so that they're Googleable or searchable, but they're not always all there.
Emily says Hulu has your Thrive commercial.
Yay! I'm on Hulu. How come I've never seen it?
Good question.
Yeah. So sometimes I haven't even seen them, and I hear about them. So I wish I knew. They don't really have a good commercial channel. There should be a channel for just commercials, which is what iSpot TV is, basically. And I'm going to quit. I think we're going to sign off and go have some salad. Tonight is salad night. You know, it's funny.
Go ahead. We were talking about this.
Yeah, we were talking about this. Every day, Howard says to me, so what's for dinner tonight? And sometimes I'm like, I want this. And sometimes it's like, I just know it's not a cheat day, so I have to stay on my plan. And other times it's like, oh, yeah, we're going to Wood Ranch and I'm having the ribs. But on Mondays, we always have the salmon salad. And it was kind of a relief today after this weekend of what's for dinner? Like, I know what's for dinner tonight.
Linda says the Thrive commercials on Facebook.
Oh, good. Yeah, I know. Well, I know for Thrive, they do a lot of advertising on social media. And I think I did a commercial for Lance, L'Anze, L-A-G-E, hair curling products, hair straightening. So I worked on a commercial with that. And that's on social media. Probably you'll see it more at the holidays because it's sort of a holiday spot. I'm due a good Mrs. Claus. I have not seen any ads for Mrs. Claus yet, so we should be getting into Christmas commercials soon. Right now, the trend still in commercials is for real families. And they want real multi-generational families and real multiracial families. And I can't really provide either one of those, so I just like, nope, can't do that one, can't do that one, can't do that one. I have a commercial audition that I'll probably do while you're making dinner when we're done here. I think I'm probably going to do that one where I'm playing a doctor. So I'm always doing some sort of audition, but don't know exactly where you can see them. I'm rambling.
No, you're doing great. It's just about 7.
It's just about 7. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being patient for 4 years, waiting to see this beautiful face.
Everybody, thank you for being so kind to me. I do appreciate it.
And we all love his dimples. Thank you very much. I love you bunches. I hope you have an awesome rest of your week. I'm going to try to get our glamping video edited and up for you soon. Have a great week. I will talk to you next week. We'll be back and we'll actually have a subject to talk about other than just, here's the love of my life. So you have a good one. We'll talk soon.